Next on Worcester News Tonight, police discover a meth lab in an unlikely spot in West Boylston. Plus, the Pokemon craze hits central Massachusetts. A look at how the new app has people all over Massachusetts staring at their phones. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. We begin tonight in West Boylston, where police say a jogger discovered a portable meth lab. And as our Rosalind Flaherty shows us, the lab was found in a popular outdoor area near Route 12.
Police say a jogger running along the Wachusett Reservoir in West Boylston made the discovery, finding several pill bottles and tools near a fire road off Route 12. Police are calling it a portable meth lab.
There are always a lot of people around here.
The jogger notified the West Boylston Police Department and they identified the items as a one-pot meth lab. Police say the lab was active and was in the process of producing the drug.
This is right next to the Wachusett Reservoir where we get our water, where people, swim, have good fun recreational activities, and then there are bad people out there putting meth labs next to it.
The Drug Enforcement Agency assisted with the removal and disposal of the lab. Police say there were dangerous chemicals in the bottle that, if inhaled, could be harmful. People who frequently use this reservoir say they have never seen any suspicious activity.
It's crazy. A lot of people just fish and hike around here. I never see any weird people hanging around or anything going on like that.
Police are warning anyone who comes across these suspicious bottles with unknown substances, liquids, or solids in them to contact the police department before handling. Andy, back to you.
Thanks, Rosalind. Spencer police are asking for the public's help identifying a man they say robbed a gas station clerk over the weekend. Authorities say this man went into an Express Mart on Main Street early Sunday morning and demanded money, but he kept his hand inside his pocket to make it seem like he was armed, although he never showed a weapon. The suspect then took off down the alley behind the store. He's described as 5'6" tall with short brown hair and a beard. Anyone with any information is urged to call the Spencer Police Department. Number is right there on your screen, 508-885-6333. Worcester police arrest a man for vandalizing the city's new World War II memorial. An officer was patrolling the Worcester Common early Monday morning when he saw a man trying to remove parts of the memorial. The man told the officer a friend told him to try and take copper from the monument, which has 6 copper grounding wires installed. Ronald Wallers has been charged with malicious destruction of property and vandalizing or removing graves or monuments. A Worcester man is arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a woman in the woods. 61-year-old William Allen is accused of attacking a 25-year-old woman near Lincoln Street last week. The victim told police Allen choked her before she was able to run away and get help. She was treated for injuries to her face, neck, and body. Allen is also charged with giving a false name to police. Authorities used fingerprints to properly identify him. A Worcester woman fighting to keep her family home from foreclosure. The home has been in her family for generations. Our Olivia Lemon has a look at the group of volunteers trying to help.
I'm losing my house. Period.
Marilyn Orr Davis says this home on Frothingham Road has been in her family for more than 100 years. Monday, she was evicted, despite the efforts from Worcester's anti-foreclosure team to blockade the action.
I didn't want to lose it, and we were trying to do something to keep it, but not too many things were done legally, as I think.
Orr Davis is in her 70s and suffers from Lyme disease. She says there was a miscommunication within the court system. She filed an appeal in appeals court, but says she never received notice from housing court about a June deadline.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, greedy banks have got to go.
Members of WAFT have been working with Orr Davis to help her keep the home. The group says Worcester's auctions are up 133% year over year.
We're worried about homelessness. People are displaced, especially the elderly and the disabled people. So it's a really huge concern.
Constables at the home Monday morning didn't want to go on camera, but say they have a court order to remove everything from the home. They say since Orr Davis wasn't paying her mortgage, the home was put up for auction and is now owned by another person. Meanwhile, Orr Davis says her caretaker was not on the eviction notice and is still living in the home.
They're kicking me out, but not her. and she's got my stuff until I can do something otherwise, and until she goes through the process of whatever they're going to do to her.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
If you noticed many people outside staring at their phones and walking around like zombies today, don't worry, it's not the apocalypse. Actually, it's a new game that is sweeping the nation. Pokemon Go is so popular, it has made the video company Nintendo $9 million in less than a week. Our Patricia Nicholas looks at the Pokemon craze here in Worcester.
If you walked around Worcester Monday, you may have noticed a lot of people looking down at their phones.
We're walking around and getting Pokemons.
Everyone's walking around town playing it. People I would never even expect to play it. And look, a Pokemon just popped up. I'm gonna catch a Ghastly.
The Pokemon Go app is an interactive video game based on a popular video game from the 1990s. It allows users to walk around their neighborhood catching Pokemon characters. Some Worcester residents say they can't get enough.
We've actually met a whole bunch of new friends down on the common today because everybody's playing.
It's like, you know, you feel like you're a part of the game, but you're still, you know, living your life.
You can get exercise while playing a video game. I think that's really cool.
The Worcester Common is a hot spot for the game, as well as many area parks. Kelly Casper was with her friends at Kendrick Field. She says she has seen a lot of other players there.
You can get random prizes by flicking on that little icon that'll show up to let you know that you came here and stopped here.
Kaylin and her mother spent their morning playing the game. Her mother says at first she thought it was odd, but it was important for her to be there with her daughter.
I just want to make sure she's safe. She's not, encountering strange people while she's chasing for the Pokemon.
The game is available for free on smartphones. Players say it's addicting, but a great way to spend a summer day.
Get to go out with my friends, use my phone, and basically be inside a video game.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
Now, this popular game does come with a warning from local police departments. Northbridge police say they have received calls for people who are not paying attention to traffic and walking into the middle of busy streets because they're staring at their phones. They ask all to be aware of their surroundings when playing the game and also do not play while driving. A Worcester woman convicted of stealing more than $3.5 million in food stamp benefits has been sentenced. Today, Vita Ofori-Kazi was sentenced to serve 1 year and a day in federal prison. Kazi, the owner of J&W Asita Plaza, ran a scheme in which she and 2 other clerks paid 50 cents cash for every food stamp dollar and then submitted the full value of benefits to the government for reimbursement. She pled guilty in December. A dramatic scene in Leominster this morning after a car carrier caught fire. This happened in the eastbound lanes of Route 2 near the Lancaster line around 10:30. It did cause minor traffic delays. There is no word on any injuries. Fires out west are having a major impact on animal shelters in California. And here in the East Brookfield Shelter is stepping up to help pets in need. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
It's always heartwarming to see that. I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to help those that really need it.
Second Chance Animal Shelter has 15 new dogs. They were part of a massive airlift to escape overcrowded shelters due to the massive wildfires in California.
These dogs were either already in the shelters in Southern California or were surrendered because of the fires.
So to be able to take them in and provide homes for the animals that don't have homes so that those shelters can provide a place for, temporary housing for those to go back to their families. I mean, that's a wonderful thing.
More than 2,000 people in Southern California were forced to flee their homes over the weekend due to a fast-moving fire. Second Chance says families without homes often bring their dogs to a shelter temporarily, causing overcrowding.
I mean, we're always excited to help where we can. There's obviously a big need for it. There's a lot of animals that are being displaced.
The East Brookfield location is the only shelter in Massachusetts who took in dogs from California. The shelter says they pride themselves on helping locally and nationally.
When something like this happens, there's so many animals that come in at one time. They need to be distributed so that it makes it easier for them to get the care that they need. So we were very happy to help with this.
The 15 dogs finished their 2-day required quarantine Monday and will be ready for adoption on Tuesday. The shelter says these animals will have no problem finding a home.
We get a lot of requests, people looking for smaller dogs because you can have them whether you have a house or an apartment. And They're adorable. They're going to go home really fast. That I'm sure of.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Also in Worcester, an annual food drive returns to the city this week looking to fight hunger. Jeremiah's Inn is hosting its 22nd annual food drive outside of the Shaw's Supermarket in Webster Square. Last year, they say their nutrition center and food pantry fed more than 11,000 people. Jeremiah's Inn says the prevalence of hunger in Worcester is 6 times greater than the state's average. They also added the summer months can be a challenging one for some families.
Now the parents are forced to provide lunches that maybe they don't have or they can't afford, and they're scrambling to feed their families. And we step in the gap and help provide families that need it a little extra assistance.
The food drive is all day this week from 9 to 6 and ends on Saturday.